Kodak Vision3 cinema film is known for its really nice colors and fine grain. Here's a can of the 250D. This is the type with the remjet coating. This is the new version without the remjet. This is the Vision3 AHU 250D. We're going to be shooting some test rolls on that. I also received 50D, a roll of it. Actually, 2 rolls. I've already shot 1 of each. 250D and 500T. Now we're going to take a minute and go look at some of the photos from these. As soon as they came in the mail, I went out the very next morning and shot a roll of each, just so we could see what they look like real quick. I promise I'll do a review on these, one each, and we'll go through it more thoroughly. All right, as promised, here are the photos. This first group we're looking at is the 250D. As you can see, the tones are very nice. The colors really nice. These were scanned on an Epson Perfection V850 and using the Silver Fast scanning software with the Negafix in it. Didn't have a profile for the Vision3, so I used just standard Kodak 200 gold, and that gave a pretty good rendition. And then of course had to play with the white balance a little bit, make sure that we could set it on something white or black or something neutral in the photo, and it came out nice. And if we look down here, I mean, you can see, scan over so we can find part of it's in focus here. The grain structure is pretty nice. It's pretty tight. And here's another picture, and this one is straight into the sun. The sun had just come above the horizon, and you can see, I mean, it's, again, the grain structure is pretty good. And the shadows is not too pronounced. And of course, the tones are just gorgeous. All right, here's another shot. And this performs exactly like the previous Vision3, which was great. It was just you had the hassle of the remjet, which wasn't that big a deal in processing. You just, a tablespoon of baking soda and water and do it as a pre-wash a couple of times and rinse it until it stopped coming out black was all you needed to do. And then you could process normal. And then just give it a little extra attention when you wash it after you develop it. But I mean, these are, I have no complaints with these. These look great. You can see in here, this is a good sharp image with very little grain in it. I mean, it looks great. The 50D is amazing. All right, let's see. Another one, high contrast, lots of bright sun hitting that building, except for this part over here, which is in shadow. You see the fire escape off the building across from it, which is nice. Some more street scenes with, I say there's a lot of high contrast here. You got some dark shadow areas, and then you got really bright, direct sun areas, and it's fantastic. Got nothing bad to say about this right now, except that it's just hard to get hold of. And here, just the facade of a building with reflections in the windows. I mean, it's very nice. And this was not with a great lens. but still it looks good. Here's in front of a bakery we have in town that has locks on the fence around it. Very nice. I mean, just the you can see it here in all the out of focus areas. I mean, the grain is very pleasing. And, you know, it's decently sharp. That looks pretty good to me, other than this, whatever that is there. Something in the processing, probably. But here, another one where it's in dark, you know, deep shadow on this side and bright sun on this side. And handled it very well. May have to look at the scan, but that's not too bad. Now here's the 250D, and it is just as the 50D. Very, very nice, beautiful colors, great rendition. Here's another shot of that image. This was the way I did this was I went uptown before the sun came up and grabbed the 500T first and shot that as we were getting a really good glow in the sky, but the sun wasn't up yet. And then once I got through that roll, I switched to the 250D and shot until the sun was pretty well, you know, up above the horizon, then switched to the 50D. So you can see, I mean, the color in this, and, you know, just the way it responded is fantastic. Love this shot. Local restaurant. You can see all the street lights were still on, and we're getting no halations whatsoever. And here you got a nice pink sky in the background. Here's another one straight into the sun, where you can see where the sun is above the tree line here, and going straight into the lens, getting some funky looking greenish yellow flare going on there. But overall, it's not bad. It handled that pretty well. Something that's kind of abstract, just fountain. And then here's another one with the sun coming up. And, you know, it's hidden behind the building, so the flaring is not so bad in this one. But it just handled everything fantastic. Can't wait to see what it does in, you know, some decent light without, you know, glaring sun. And now we'll look at the 500T. Now, I did not have an 85B filter with me. According to Kodak, this is balanced for 3200 Kelvin for tungsten light. And of course, daylight's 5500, 5600, in that range. So I did not have an 85B to convert it. So I shot this at box speed at 500 ISO with no color correction whatsoever. If you're going to shoot 500T in daylight, according to Kodak's instructions, which I can show you real quick. Let me see if I can grab them. Not sure how well this will come over here. Let's see. But you can see right here, this is the 500T brochure from Kodak. And if you scroll down, you can see the specs on it. It tells you right over here that it's balanced for 3200K, and you should shoot it at 500 ISO at 3200K. But if you're shooting in daylight, you should shoot it at 320 with an 85B filter. The Kodak Rat and Gelatin filter number 85. That's you know, they have different flavors of that, kind of like the filters, you know, an 85A, B, and C. And if you go look at the specs on, like, say, a Tiffin 85B, it's designed for 3200K. So when I test the next roll, I will put an 85B on it and shoot it at 320 so we can see how it performs. Let's go ahead and move this back over. All right, and also on this one, I had the my imprinting on in between frames, and when I when I reloaded the film, because I left like 5 shots at the end of each roll so I could do a test chart. And when I rewound it, I forgot about it and left this on. So when I put the film back in the camera and advanced it to the 30th frame, it printed in the middle of the frame. So this is my screw up here. Nothing to do with the film. All right, but you can see though, this was before the sun was up. I mean, that same street where we were looking straight down and getting all the sun flare, that's this street right here. And we're getting none of that because the sun is still behind the trees. We just get the orange glow up here. And let's see. All right, here's a shot down a dark alleyway, and you get the really bright sky, and we're not seeing any craziness going on up there. And here's one where I was getting some glow. You see the street lamps? I was getting a little halation, or blooming right here from one of the street lights, which was kind of odd. I didn't see that in any other shots, just the ones I took with this angle, because it's literally right here out of the edge of the frame. Trying to get some specular light in the frame to see if we get halation on it, and there's none here. This is a tree wrapped with Christmas lights that are pretty bright, and we're right on top of it. No halation whatsoever. The street light back here is on. No halation. Then here's just some mixed lighting, kind of still in the blue hour before the sun came all the way up. And I'll actually go back to this one. If you zoom in, I mean, this is 500T, and the grain structure is pretty nice on that. That's not bad at all. Definitely attractive grain. And here's another shot of that same area. Here's some sculptors' artwork here. And just outside of one of the visitors centers here in the county. Again, not bad. It's got good detail for a 500 speed film. This is looking pretty good. I'll do a much better review on this coming up, probably a week or so, and we'll have a verdict on it. And I'll go ahead and hand roll a couple of more rolls at a 250. But that's it. Very pleased with this film. It was kind of hard to get. If you're wondering where to get it, I highly recommend a site in Germany. It's called 35mmdealer.de. And he can definitely hook you up. He handles the customs and everything for you too. It's a little pricey, so having to go through customs and pay the tariffs and all that good stuff. But hopefully Kodak will release this to places like Adorama and B&H, so we can get it, economically here, because this is a great film. I see nothing but good stuff here. All right, thanks for watching.